Hello my dears, welcome to your timeless message of the day. Let's see what we're going to talk about. My God, what? This dude just decided to take off as we start our reading. Reproach. Maybe he's trying a different approach. Maybe he's struggling to get out of wherever he is, so he had to do a double take, a restart. Maybe you've had to restart something and it took you a few times. Maybe your tires got stuck in the mud, so you had to redo it again and again. I mean, I don't even know if this is a car, but it just sounds... It suddenly started. It was complete quiet before I started record, right? Before I pressed record. Repression, reproach. Look at the alliterations here. Patterns that are connected, where you repress something or you kind of slither around the issue rather than facing it head on, because we have these snakes here. I'm so sorry about this noise. I thought about just stopping and restarting this, but I think it's meant to be. I think it's trying to tell us something right now. And I think as I said that, it actually managed to take off. No? Okay, we get one more. Learning. Okay, yeah, I love this. I really, really love this. It seems to me that you have been trying to really study yourself, study your patterns, study where you are not facing things, the parts of you that you kind of slither around, that you try not to see, maybe also within other people, where you know that there's behaviors that are difficult and you kind of try not to see them, you slither around them, you try to find reasons for it, you repress the feeling that it evokes in you when you do see this kind of behavior within yourself or others. But you're trying to learn and study this about you, and I'm sure that it is in an effort to grow. Did he leave? Did he leave as we decided to grow? He's fucking with us now, I think. But we have all of the astrological signs for all of the different signs and planets on here. So also palmistry could be a thing. Maybe you got your palms read. Maybe that's something that happened. But it could also be you reading your own palms, you reading your own birth chart, your own natal chart, understanding maybe astrologically what's going on with you, if that is something of interest to you. I do want to emphasize that, with everything, always use your critical mind, okay? What allows for change, what allows for growth, is the continuous questioning of it. The continuous questioning of the status quo leads to growth. So never let go of the little rebel in you that is always trying to see, okay, how can we do this better? Or how can we, this is not working and I gotta say something, or I gotta do something, I gotta grow. How are you guys doing today? Sometimes you gotta let things pass. Sometimes it's just what it is. And that's okay. We can't always get what we want. Beatles. Okay, we're gonna go look deeper into this. Okay, oh my gosh. Maybe this message is something that you've been struggling to hear as well. Maybe you having to admit to yourself how you kind of slither away from actually looking at the difficult things. Let me know if you guys would be interested, because I'm feeling called to do a shadow work kind of video. So kind of looking into the things within yourself, the darker aspects, the things that you don't shine light on. They're not good or bad, but they just mean that you don't like to look at it. So there's not a lot of light there. So to look at that, if you're interested, let me know. Okay, we're gonna get more cards, and I'm sure the person has now left the area. Oh my, that was so loud. That was so distracting. Look who was distracting you. It could have been relationships, my dear. It could have been a particular person. It could be this just idea of love, of emotional fulfillment, maybe with another human being, finding that there. We have the stallion here in the back, like a white stallion. So maybe this idea of someone coming in on a back of a horse and like saving, or like a knight. This is a particular image that has been coming up quite a bit, this concept of like the knight in shining armor, of feeling like you have to be saved. And this now is taking me to something that I've also mentioned recently, but Shrek. And this idea that in part 2, when it starts, I think it's like Prince Charming trying to save Fiona, and then you realize that she's already been saved, like she kind of helped save herself as well when Shrek came. But this idea of like maybe someone's coming, maybe someone from your past might be coming in trying to be this knight, and it's like too late. There is a message there. But yeah, if not a particular person that's coming to mind, this is just the idea of love. The Knight of Cups is striving towards emotional fulfillment. He is striving towards it, and you know, there's two sides to a coin. There's always the good and the bad, you know, there's always different aspects. So in a good place, this is someone very loving, very kind, very caring, someone who would write you letters, like love letters, or express themselves maybe verbally, also maybe with sound, because we have a sound bowl here. But yeah, this is very nice energy. But then on the other end of things, why is this behavior happening? Is this coming from a place, oh look at that, look at us asking the why and trying to figure out how we can grow. Amazing. Why is this behavior happening? Is this loving energy maybe within yourself or within someone else coming from a place of truly unconditionally wanting to just give, or is it coming maybe from a place of trying to gain something as well? There I think is a balance to the give and take. What I'm trying to say is it's almost like the intention behind the action. Is the intention coming from a place of selflessness, or from a place of maybe more on the selfish side? And it's not one or the other, I think, ever, but it is, you know, on a spectrum, and kind of where it sits on this spectrum is the question. And maybe the area that you want to learn about, study about, maybe within yourself, why you love the way you love, why do you pour so much? Or why do you accept maybe people pouring a lot into you and then not showing up in the long term? This could also be someone who is like very love bomby. So someone who's, you know, does all the good things, shows up as they would. No, they show up in a way that it seems that this is going to be the status quo of their behavior, but maybe it's not, and it's just a way to kind of get you to be like, oh wow, this is such a nice human, you know. And it's whether conscious or subconscious, it can be very disingenuous in how you then perceive the person in the long run, you know. Yeah, okay, we're gonna get more. The Six of Pentacles, the give and take, the finding balance. And I'm putting the Six of Pentacles actually under the reproach card. So this idea that we had with the snakes of finding maybe new pathways, or recognizing how you get knotted within your pathways and within yourself, or you kind of abstruse, you kind of try to dodge certain things that you don't want to look at. And maybe the Six of Pentacles, this concept of give and take, or being truly honest about where you are coming from when you give or when you take, you know. But especially the give part it can be a difficult thing, you know, to truly say, yeah, I do this because I'm very caring and I'm loving, but maybe I'm also doing this because I don't feel safe, because it gives me a form of safety. It's my form of control, of like taking care for the sake of feeling safe, by knowing that I'm needed, you know. There you go, like the being needed part. And now the question, if we go deeper, we keep asking the why, we keep going for the growth. Why do you feel like you have to be needed? Who made you feel like you had to be needed? You had to be helpful, you had to be useful for you to be loved, for you to receive love. You don't have to do or be anything to receive love. But the way you love and the way you show up in this world is going to attract people that fit in one way or another. Either they are similar to you in their approach, or this can also happen like magnets, where it's, you know, people who somehow lack what you have a lot of, and then you kind of come together in a way that is not very healthy, and you come together in a way where you knot yourselves into a big fucking mess, my dudes, and that's not very helpful, right? There's this if things are not working in a proper give and take, in a balanced way, in a harmonic way, there's going to be tangles. There's going to be a point where it's not going to work, and maybe that's something that you've recognized within yourself as well, and maybe within other people. Yeah, okay, and now we're going to look, because now, okay, we figured out, we're looking into this learning about your own emotional fulfillment, and why you do the things you do, but also maybe why you accept the way people treat you, or you know what I mean? And then the reapproach, the issue here, that if we go into a layer deeper, we keep asking the why, we go for the growth, we keep learning, we figure out, okay, this is a matter of give and take, of like the sense of value, because the Six of Pentacles is value. You see, you put your value from this ability to give, or from the ability to be in a give and take energy, you know, maybe that, yeah. I'm just reiterating, but I'm really seeing here the story like unfolding, and I'm seeing the growth, and I'm seeing how it makes sense. You know, in a story, you need to have, the plot has to have anchors. The more you introduce these concepts of like, you just gotta, this is just how it worked, or this is just how it happened, it can be difficult. This is the magical elements of life, you know. And I would say, if you've read Franz Kafka, he's an amazing author, who really speaks very eloquently on the human condition through metaphor, which I like, obviously. And you know, there's this concept of Kafkaesque, the idea that you are brought into a situation that you just have to accept as factual, as this is the baseline of something, to then grow and understand the rest of the story, and there you then see these connections and stuff. So, but there's a very, very clear balance where the baseline is the I don't know, which we all have. We all don't know. But then on top of this I don't know, there are storylines that do make sense. There's things that do clearly have a point of like, this is the starting point of the story. Here's where a character finds out this. This is when they do this. This is when they do this, you know? And as we are doing that, now we are looking, we looked into the learning, we looked into the reapproach. Now we're going to look into the repression. And I think the reapproach, me reiterating, there is an importance obviously there, I think, to reiterate what I just said. Maybe you needed to hear this, really understand it. But also, I'm really seeing these snakes of like moving around the subject, not really wanting to look at it, repressing it. You're like, no, don't worry about this. Look at this, bro. This room's really dirty. I know, this over there, it's flooding and stuff, but I think there's a lot of dust in that room. Maybe you should deal with that first, you know? So you repress. And what are you repressing, my dear? The Three of Wands and the Seven of Swords. A very clear message. A very clear message. You are repressing. Let's take a deep breath here. It's all good. We're all good. This is healthy. This is important to look at. And obviously take the messages that I meant for you. This is a general reading. But what I'm seeing is this repressing of being truly honest with yourself about how you are at fault for how you get stuck. You are at fault for this trickery, you know? In a way, this reminds me actually of the tough love message that was that I did a few days ago. You can check that out. But the Seven of Swords is this tricking of the mind. You know, this is someone trying to steal, and then there's this alarm clock going off and saying, oh my God, someone's here and someone's stealing. Everyone wake up, come running. And this has been set to snooze, continuously set to snooze. You continuously saw these things. You continuously saw these clear signs of betrayal from other people towards you, but from the reason you accept this sort of betrayal is because you betray yourself in your way that you are okay to, you know, maybe have to wait out the next wave, let someone else take the wave. Okay, yeah, you can go, you can expand, you can grow, you can do this, but then where do you stay? But on the shoreline, waiting and repressing and getting maybe also frustrated and agitated, and also resentment can build up. These are all natural things, but this is maybe something you need to look at. And maybe this is the repressed area of your life. The concept of expansion, the concept of self-trickery, of self-denial. And if this hurts to hear, then maybe that's what's being triggered, the fear and the hurt of self-denial. Yeah. But, I want to emphasize this has gotten, maybe a little triggering for some of you. And this is the work that we are, I think, called to do in this life. You can obviously do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. But if you want to find more gratitude, more growth, then mirror that which you see which is expansion, continuous growth, continuous change within certain parameters of routines, within certain parameters of just fixed nature. The sun will go up, the sun will go down. You will struggle, you will deny yourself, you will deny yourself whatever, and you will, accept this kind of behavior from yourself and others continuously. That is maybe a fixed thing, but how can you then plan the day in between? What can you do in the in-between? How can you find for yourself how to work out your own structures, your own patterns, your own limitations in a way, and learn and grow, my dear. I was thinking about this, how like when people who've known me for a long time or haven't seen me, and whenever I meet people in my life that have known me for a while, there's always this concept of like, or people will tell me oftentimes, oh, you're so different. Everyone always says that I'm so different if they haven't seen me for a bit, when I'm like, I've never felt like I change that dramatically. I just feel like I'm becoming more me. Like, it's not that I'm changing, it's that I'm evolving, Oh, this was something that came up in the message yesterday as well. So there, maybe you want to check that one out. But this idea of like evolution, of growth, continuously shedding out layers for a new one. It doesn't take away from you. It only changes what already is. It transforms the energy. It doesn't take it. It doesn't, But yeah, okay. My feet are falling asleep. And it's getting dark. We're gonna do a message from here, my dears. To finish off this lovely reading, thank you guys for being here. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a good start to your November. A time of this kind of work, of spending, the silence, spending silence with oneself. Or enjoying silence with oneself, enjoying the internal beauty of life, If you're someone who finds that they have a very colorful and bright inner world, then maybe this is a time of embracing that more and more, and just going within, experiencing the world within. If the outside has already gotten dark and quiet and there's nothing to perceive, maybe there's more going on within to be called and to be kind of connected with. But yeah, okay. Last message. No, you don't break that easily anymore. Instead, you use things as fuel, like an alchemist. Motherfucker! Yeah! Like an alchemist! What did I just say? What does an alchemist do? What is alchemy? Alchemy is the science, I'm saying science because it's not accepted as a science, but it's the field, there we go. It's the field of transformation. It is the field of making from one something different. It is not completely, making, gold appear out of thin air, but it is being able, this is like, I think how a thing in alchemy where people were trying to like turn things into gold. But it's not a matter of actually just making it pop up. It's a matter of being able to change the pieces to resemble the gold. Does that make sense? Okay. But okay, I'm actually feeling called to read this one to you too, and then I'm gonna go. Your energy is exclusive and expansive. Remember, it is a privilege to be in your presence. Wow, that is such an important thing to take into account and to remind yourself of. It is a privilege for you to exist. It is a privilege equally for people to exist with you. Hear that again. It is a privilege for people to be able to connect with you and to know you in this life. Okay? You have to treat it as such. Be understanding of that, of the beauty of it, of the necessity for keeping it safe and keeping the well always filled. If you are gonna take all of the water before it's able to regenerate, it's gonna be empty. So understand the limitations of yourself. Understand where you have to be exclusive. You have to maybe be honest with yourself and others that maybe it takes more energy for you to do something, for you to do X than it would for someone else to do X. So you might need more time and more, excuse me, I'm being eaten already by little insects. You might need more time, or you might need a different approach, because it is here on the reapproach. Understanding the necessity for the inclusivity that comes when you really, really just say, okay, this is my needs and this is what I gotta do, or this is your needs and this is what you gotta do. Okay, I'm losing my train of thought because I'm being attacked by insects and it's gotten dark so quick these days, my lordies. I need to try and shift my schedules, I think, to try and come out earlier. But thank you guys for being here. Now it is the end. And I'll see you very, very soon, hopefully. Bye-bye.